Yes, my name is Giusi Verde. I'm Italian, first of all, very important. Craft person, this is how I call myself. So I'm an artisan. I don't particularly, not out of any kind of resentment or anything, but I don't like to call myself an artist. So what I do, all my life, I've been making things, just making them from scratch, all sorts, from kind of very homemade jewelry to small items, small accessories. And then when I came to the UK, I continued, but it was for my own entertainment. Yeah. I wore them, I gave it to friends, and going around all the old markets, the bric-a-brac markets, so not necessarily Portobello, but places like even Brick Lane at the time, and finding vintage fabrics. And then when I came to Portobello, I set up a stall in Portobello Market, and that would have been around 89, no, after that, in the 90s, early 90s. And I was making my own things, jewelry of all sorts, and small bits of craft, and I was selling them. So the areas, when I arrived, I lived on All Saints Road, which is quite an iconic road there, and I think I arrived at the end of what was the true, very alternative lifestyle. Although I must say that I was coming from South London, and that was very alternative, like Camberwell and Brixton. Over here, it was alternative, but it also was a bit arty, a bit indulgent, a bit mixing. It was interesting. It was a mix of different people. Like there was all the people coming from the Caribbean, for example, and then there were like kind of hippies, and then there was the musicians. So that was more. But the South London was a little bit more like real life. Yeah. Let's say here it was a bit protected, if you want, a little bit like a bubble, but fun, but good lifestyle. Although I must say that I was coming from South London, and that was very alternative, like Camberwell and Brixton. Over here, it was alternative, but it also was a bit arty, a bit indulgent, a bit mixing. It was interesting. It was a mix of different people. Like there was all the people coming from the Caribbean, for example, and then there were like kind of hippies, and then there was the musicians. So that was more. But the South London was a little bit more like real life. Yeah. Let's say here it was a bit protected, if you want, a little bit like a bubble, but fun, but good. In terms of so then you've had people moving in because they were attracted by the lifestyle and the genuine mixing of music and creativity, and it has become obviously gentrified. Obviously, it's inevitable. It still has a bit of a soul, particularly if you go Goulburn Road. Goulburn, the top half of Portobello and Goulburn Road are still quite authentic. I feel personally, I repeat myself maybe, but Portobello Market was always the heart of this. It was always the heart, because it wasn't just, so it was the designers that were there, they were making their own things, selling. It was a point of gathering for people anyway. The aftermarket was just as good as the market. So all the drinking places around, the music. But obviously there is Carnival, which is, I still like it, it's still worth it. I think that's another thing that is still quite genuine. So music has always been part of it, and I'm not sure that it has still the same type of space, but still, there are a lot of people who are trying to preserve it and keep it alive, so the resistance is very strong. I know a lot of people. Yes, I know a lot of the stallholders, particularly, and I know where they come from, and I really appreciate what they do, because they're the ones keeping alive the old vintage tradition, which links with my practice, obviously, and the quality is really good. The quality, I know that they really put a lot of effort and care into finding beautiful things, So, and musicians, to be honest, since I've had my kids, I've started maybe not going out so much, so I've lost the pulse a little bit, but I know that there is still a music scene of some sort, although it has moved east at some point, isn't it? It's gone east, but West London has got something special, this side of West London. So as I said, I would say the places, then we have the old Grenfell situation that has come into bring a different kind of memory, which is going to be very etched in the history and is not very positive. But on a positive note, I would say research the area, keep an eye on Goulburn Road and on kind of community events, the carnival, definitely. So things which are easy to get in touch. I think that what I would bring is that I think that Kindred really reflects quite well the spirit of this area. I mean, we've been around this area at the beginning because we were just off Labrador Grove with the first, and then off the Arrow Road with the second. Shepherd's Bush, but just down the road, and now we're back in the centre again. So I feel that Kindred, with this combination of people, mixes of ages and different origins, and this eye on community activity, bringing together, we have lots of students coming, we have lots of initiatives, we are a charity that tends to involve, we had the Bulgarian choir, we had the Ukrainian refugee, well, we've done quite a lot of that. So I feel that Kindred does symbolize a bit. It makes me feel like they're carrying on with the legacy of the area in our own way.